to go even stronger on reconciliation, to do even more on reconciliation, with an ambitious plan on reconciliations.
Is all forgiven for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau over his not-so-excellent vacation to Tofino, BC on the first ever National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, a day that his own government put in place, and yet he was the only federal leader to not observe it, to not attend an official event for that on that very day? Is this story over with now? Have people forgiven him, or at least forgotten? Was it a 24-hour news story, a 48-hour news story, and now it is done? Or is this going to continue to dog him for quite some time? The latest development is that Justin Trudeau did offer an apology to that Kamloops, BC First Nations community where they had discovered the unmarked graves of what they believed to be those students from many years ago in residential schools. Is this enough to offer that apology to that community? They invited him twice to go there. Now, the Prime Minister can't say yes to every invitation, of course, but here's the thing. He's the guy who created this event, and he's the guy who consistently overpromises and underdelivers on the First Nations file. And a lot of Indigenous Canadians not happy, and they saw this action in particular as a major slap on the face. His government brings in this National Day of Truth and Reconciliation, and the point is that it's not just a holiday, and there's a lot of debate as to whether or not these things should be made a holiday or not, because, if you're in school, if you're in the workplace, you can have an official event where you sit down and you learn about the thing that is being commemorated, whether it's Remembrance Day or whether it's National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, any other day, where there's sort of an official capacity in terms of learning, reflecting, and so on. Those who don't think things should be federal holidays, those events shouldn't be holidays, they say, well, the problem is some person might just go off to the beach. We say, no, people aren't going to do that. They'll be respectful of it and they'll be appropriate. And yet the very person who proved to be the worst example of that was the Prime Minister himself, not clearly taking the event all that seriously and looking at it as a day to go to the beach. Does the apology make things right? His apology to this community and to other First Nations communities? Or is it just such a slap on the face, as some of them saw it, that they're not going to forget about that? It is really interesting that First Nations communities, and I use interesting as a bit of an understatement, there's other words you could use, that First Nations communities are the communities that have faced, I think, such big promises from Justin Trudeau, and then such a poor delivery, and also such a disrespect. Of course, his treatment of Jody Wilson-Raybould was not appreciated. When there was a protester who attended one of his Liberal events, he didn't just kind of ignore the lady or say, okay, well, thank you, and, please leave now because this is an official event, or we'll let the security deal with it.
Thank you.
People in Grassy Narrows are suffering from mercury poisoning.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much for your donation tonight. I really appreciate the donation to the Liberal Party of Canada.
But no, he looked at her and sneered at her and said, thank you for your donation. He made fun of her and her concern. These things are piling up. I don't think this is a 24-hour news story, a 48-hour news story. Yes, of course, every Prime Minister deserves a vacation. They deserve some time away with their family. No, the Prime Minister's office can't possibly respond to every single invitation. He certainly can't attend every single event. But come on, we all know what's going on here. He didn't attend a single event, and he chose to go on vacation on this very day when all the other leaders of every other party, Conservative, NDP, Green Party, they were all acknowledging this event except for Trudeau.